What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. Before we get started, drop me a like, a comment and a subscribe. That would be fantastic. To all my new subscribers, thank you very much. To anyone who hasn't subscribed, if you could, that'd be fantastic. And we'll get this channel pumping even more. It's grown quite a lot in the last week, so we'll keep it going, try to keep it on a roll. So wasn't going to do a video today, but there's actually been quite a bit of news that's come out over the last 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, things that I missed out on yesterday. So first of all, George Hall, 18-year-old from Birmingham, midfielder. He's touted to be sort of the next big thing. Haven't watched him obviously myself, but from what I've seen, he's come off the bench mostly this year. He started against QPR for his first game. Newcastle and Brighton are also in for him, so looks like a good young talent. Could bring him in. Don't know if he's not a starter. They didn't really mention how much he was worth either, so it could be a good sign for the future, but not one for right now. So yeah, we'll see. He looks all right. Maybe like a Jude Bellingham, I guess, might be a comparison. Obviously not on the same level. If he was Jude Bellingham levels, then we would we wouldn't be able to get him. The main one that we've seen recently, came out yesterday, but I didn't make mention, was Rasmus Christensen, right back from RB Salzburg. Touted to be worth around £10 million-ish. Whether that rises and we end up in a bidding war, I'm not too sure. I don't think we're one to be in a bidding war. I think we sort of go in, and if a bigger club's in there, maybe we shy away a little bit. Looks like Dortmund's the one vying for this player as well. 24-year-old, like I said, right back. From what I can tell, he's not really a player that gets up and down the wings, so he's not going to be your more newer progressive style right back that we've seen in the last sort of 10 years in football that started to progress into that wing back sort of role. He's definitely a no-nonsense right back, but look, he looks like a right player. He's won some league titles at Salzburg. Look, I don't think we need a right back, so not that we don't need one. We do need one, but I wouldn't say it's the top of the priority list at the moment. But if we can get him in for 10 million, you know, if we were to get him and 10 million for O'Brien, I'd say that's, 20 million for those two is a good bit of business. But I do think we need to keep that 10 million for maybe other positions, but we'll have to see. Maybe they're going to spend a lot more than what we sort of led on. A few guys have commented and said that you think it might be more like £100 million that they spend this year, plus Raf and Phillips money if they go. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know if they have that sort of money to spend, but hey, look, it's all speculation, just my opinion. There was also news that the 49ers are buying Leeds out at the start of 2024 for £485 million. So I think that for Radrazani, he'll want to invest now to keep us in the league so that the club's worth that in 2024. I would say there'll be a clause in that contract that says if Leeds get relegated, there is a new fee, agreed fee, maybe £200 million. So it's in the greatest interest of Radrazani in order to keep us in the league, I think, and it is anyway. I mean, it's not just a financial thing, but they've got to keep us in the league. So that's Rasmus Christensen. Not the guy I'd want to come in. I'm happy for whatever player, but he's not what I really want to see right now. Maybe that's the icing on the top signing at the end of the transfer market, or if we get him in, we'll see a bit more. Noah Lang. So Noah Lang was one touted last year. We spoke a bit about him. AC Milan is after him. Apparently we lead the race. I don't know how reliable that is. AC Milan's just won this Scudetto. Or for you guys that don't know, the Serie A title. I don't know what they can offer him. I don't know if they have the same money as us. Serie A since COVID hasn't been the same. So maybe that is one we can get done, but you got to think about Champions League football. I feel like maybe he'd want Champions League football over playing for us. But who knows? I mean, money talks, and I mean, it's easy for me to say I'd come to Leeds because I love Leeds and it's a team I would play for. But yeah, who knows? But look, if we're in the lead, fantastic. He's not the player leading the bookies for who we will sign. We'll get on to who the person leading the bookies is the player that's going to come in, the one that the bookies are saying that Leeds are going to sign. Sorry, I'm blabbing. But yeah, he's on that list, but he's not number one. So we'll see. I'd like Noah Lang. I think it'd be a fantastic signing. I wonder if he'll play at the attacking midfield spot or the wing, or like if we don't have a winger. I'm not 100% sure there. James Garner is the next signing on the way. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. Young 18. I think he was 18 years old. Manchester United player, but was on loan with Nottingham and was vital in them getting promoted, from what I can tell. Leicester and Southampton are also in for him. That's obviously one for the future, maybe a rotation player. I'd like to get him in. I don't know anything about him really, how good he is, but he's touted to be he's going to be a very, very good player. So we'll see if that one eventuates. But when you got Leicester and Southampton in there, I think Leicester might pip us to it if Man United don't decide just to keep him. That's the other option that we'll be forgetting on that one. So I'm not too sure if that'll happen. That one doesn't seem to be as high in the pecking order. It feels like that's just sort of been thrown out there. Eddie Nketiah. Now, there was talk that we were interested in Nketiah. It's now come out that there's a few clubs that have really made an interest in it, and we weren't one of them. So maybe we inquired, and that was all. Not too sure on that one. I don't think Nketiah is the answer. I think the other players we linked with, like Che Adams and Brozier, add a bit more physicality and a bit more attacking sense than Nketiah. Nketiah is just sort of a poacher. And it didn't work out first time. I don't think he'd want to come back to us anyway, if I'm really honest with you. But hey, it's not my signing, but if we got him in, I can't fault that. It is what it is. Rafinha has been touted that Man United will be after him. But it's been touted that Man United are after him. It's a preferred destination now because of his link with Bruno Fernandes. You can go anywhere you want, just don't go there or Chelsea. I would really, really, really be upset if he decided that Man United was where he wanted to go, and that was, I know that he's not supposed to, he probably doesn't really care what we think about Man United. In the end, it's up to him, and it's one of his good friends in Bruno Fernandes that's trying to bring him to the club. I think he'd work wonders there, but I don't want him to. I couldn't stand the thought of him wearing a United jersey and scoring goals against us next year. Hopefully he just gets the ball and boots it out of play every time. That would be a really devastating one, but yeah, I'd be surprised if we sold to Man United. But again, if we need money in the door to buy players, maybe the club doesn't care so much. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Ricky Puig? I've seen people call him Ricky P. We'll go with Ricky P. £8 million. He's been transfer listed by Barcelona. 22-year-old midfielder. A bit of a wonder kid back in the day. Not too sure if he still is. I think he's got a ceiling of being a good Premier League player. Good Premier League midfielder in the future. Or even right now. £8 million. I don't see why not. I mean, if you can get Ricky P and O'Brien in for £18 million, I don't see why not. When you can spend £30 million on Adams. He's known as a player that's not great on the ball. So you can get two players in O'Brien that is good on the ball, and Ricky P, £8 million on a player that, look, again, at worst, he becomes a role player. I can't imagine him being worse than Mateus Klick. So you got those two guys in there. He's only 22. We could move him on for a bit of money in the future. Once he's played Premier League football, he'd be worth more than £8 million. I don't see why not. I think you get O'Brien and Ricky P in. I think that's a fantastic bit of business. And you still have £12 million left over rather than buying Adams, and you could probably go get Rasmus Christensen at the same time. So you could get two midfielders, one and a right back for the same price as Adams. But look, Adams is rated that highly. I've rated £30 million because obviously people rate him. I don't know enough about him. So for me, I know what I'd be going for there. We need bodies in the door. We need to spend big on a striker. We need to spend big on another attacking midfielder, possibly. Or a defensive midfielder, I guess, but not £30 million on Adams. I'd say attacking midfielder, striker, spend big, and then your left back, right back, and centre mids. Centre defensive mids, you could probably just get bodies in and get it for a bit more of a cut price. And this last signing is the one that I want to happen the most. Minamino from Liverpool. Now he's touted to become available, £20-25 million. This would be an absolute coup if we could get him. He will be fantastic. They're talking about him playing up front. He's the sort of signing we need to go for. You've got teams like Man City that have lots and lots of players that rotate through the squad. So there's not necessarily like a rotational, not necessarily like a starting lineup. They rotate through. Even Mahrez doesn't play every game. And Haaland will be the same when he goes there. Minamino is very, very good, but just couldn't get into that starting three when you have Mane, Salah and Firmino, and then Jota come in and he started scoring goals, and then Luis Diaz came in and immediately started playing fantastic. So this isn't necessarily like it's a player that couldn't make it to the Liverpool team. It's a very good player that just, it was unfortunate timing. So he will be a fantastic signing. He was very, very good at Southampton, looked great on the ball, tricky, can score a goal, a bit of an eye for goal, hard to get the ball off, can make things happen. He would be my signing of the window. If we can get him in, I would be very, very, very happy with that. You can do what you want from there, but if you get Minamino in, I'll be a very, very happy man. So yeah, that is what I want done. Another interesting one, Nabil Fekir, who tore us apart pre-season last year with Real Betis. He's apparently going to Newcastle for 30 million. I know this is a Leeds channel, but gee, some of the signings Newcastle can make are ridiculous. And 30 million for an attacking midfielder like Fekir, I don't see why we don't go in for that. But maybe he's got aspirations of Champions League football, and he sees Newcastle as being more viable to get that sooner than we are. Yeah, so maybe we can't get him. He'd be more looking at, I think Liverpool looking at him back in the day, and I think they had it all but signed for £40 million, and then it didn't go ahead. I think they went and got Cater instead, or something like that happened. But it didn't go ahead due to a medical. So I'm sure he's all fine now. I think it was one of those it was a stipulation more than him being, not fit or something wrong with him. But yeah, very interesting stuff. There's a fair bit of transfers going on. That was 7, 8, 9. Yeah, a fair bit. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, Minamino and Noah Lang. If we got those two in, I would say that is a fantastic window. Aronson, Minamino, and Noah Lang would be unreal. And then and Lewis O'Brien, because I think he's the one. So you get those in, totally fix the midfield, got a new striker. Yeah, the defense needs help as well. So, but I'm not as worried about what they try and get in there, because we just need to get back to scoring goals. I think that's the biggest thing, is we couldn't score goals to save our life this year. And we were relying too much in areas that weren't providing as well. So get those players in. Please, 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 Victor Orta, get those players in. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I think Nketiah was more of a Victor Orta one, not a Jesse Marsh one. I think Orta wants to get him in because he knows him. But yeah, look, I don't want Nketiah if I could have a choice. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. So anyway, if you like the video, please drop a like, comment, and a subscribe. Thank you to my new subscribers again. If you like the video, please please subscribe, and I'll try to get more content out. Wasn't expecting this. I was on 84 subscribers last Friday, and all of a sudden I'm on 173 at the time of recording. It's going nuts. If we can get to 200, it'd be unreal. So yeah. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about those signings, who you would want to bring in, who you wouldn't. I appreciate every comment, even if it is, as long as it's not negative, then I won't do anything about it. But just leave a comment, and I love to have a debate about it, or I love to chat about it. It's not a negative thing. So anyway, if you like the video, give it a like. Peace.